is that we have a excellent opportunity to take hold of the STEM movement. It just swept the country. We've been talking about STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. That's going to reform our school system. Well, it isn't going to reform by just knowing what STM stands for. There's got to be a lot of things happen in a hurry. I think we're going to make that happen. The company that we now have called Real is all about real experiences at life. We're all about doing things for STEM. We've gotten a bit of a little sidetracked now because something I just mentioned a minute ago has happened called vaping, which has got our attention not off of the ball, but of another big ball in our way. We can roll that down the road very effectively. We'll put out products that come in the Oregon Trail mode. Anybody here ever heard of Oregon Trail? I think somebody has out there. Quite a few people have heard of that. So that's where we are right now in terms of bringing out a product in about a month. That'll be a whole new generation of software, the way we've put it together. It's going to be all about vaping. It's going to be all about aimed at kids who are in the junior high area. We can't get to the kids who are seniors and juniors. They've already done what they shouldn't have done. Now we are going to get to the other kids. It's going to be a big opportunity for our country, for Minnesota also. You mentioned before that we had some relationships that propelled MEC into a unique situation. We came out with the first computer for schools. We had a long history. Day one, we were on the forefront. We hooked our university high school students up with long-distance telephone communication, Dartmouth University. That's how educational computing got started. The MEC operation grew into a national movement. We had every school country in the United States was part of the MEC program. We started out there at the University High School. I mentioned that John put together a great plan. We implemented that plan. It spread across Minnesota. We first started out with long-distance telephone rates and all of those problems that we saw. We got over those problems, figured out how that was going to work, and pretty soon we were across the whole United States with the Minnesota product. And out of that grew a whole industry. So the MEC story is a unique story in Minnesota. It's not unique in Canada, by the way. It's unique in the United States, where the federal government in Canada, of course, puts money into companies, runs the companies, and they have to sell it off in 5 years. Crown companies, they're called. Well, we kind of had that situation come out of what we did in Minnesota. Somewhat accidentally, we didn't try to pattern after them. We had an organization that was rapidly spreading across all of the schools in the United States. And then, of course, along came new technology. We didn't have to pay long-distance phone calls anymore because a thing came along, and it was called, not Apple computer, it was called a microcomputer, but Apple is the one that we lined up with. Met with two guys named Steve and Steve when they were still in their garage. We bought the first 5 products there from them, Apple computers, put our Oregon Trail and all of its buddies on that system. It spread like wildfire. We had a good, fast-growing company, profitable-making company, owned by the state of Minnesota. So the state of Minnesota was in business. That didn't fit very well. We had to get out of that. We found a way to do that. We bought the company back from the state of Minnesota. Minnesota, as a state, got all of the benefits of the program, had received the money back and then a lot more, plus 5 years of use of the products. And then the company kind of exploded and really took on significant presence in the computing. And the last thing that happened then, not the last thing, but the next thing that happened is that we were a publicly held company on the New York or the NASDAQ, and along came somebody with a big bag of money from the East Coast and said, "We need to get into this business. This is hot stuff, and we're going to buy you." And the price was ridiculous. They bought it. We sold it off to them, and it was then that we after we had met with Steve and Steve, I should get back to that to get your question answered. Steve and Steve were very glad to sell 5. We had a great relationship with Apple. Apple grew because of MEC initially. Apple, of course, exceeded what MEC did, but MEC did very well for Minnesota, sold the company. When the company was public, then we took it public. Then along came some people with big bags of money and said, hey, we're going to pay you an outlandish price for this thing. We'll pay you 11 times your revenue. Revenue was $30 million excuse me, a year, and that was $330 million that the stockholders of MEC got. Now it was a private company, and the person who came along with a great big bags of money from out on the East Coast now is known by many of you, if you ever watched Shark Tank. It's known by the name Mr. Wonderful, and he led the charge, bought the company, took the company, took our company, and then bought the next 2 in line, which is the Learning Company and Broderbond, and then those companies were rolled into one big purchase of the industry because there were a dozen other little purchases that came along. And that's how Minnesota started the United States, the whole program, the whole thing in the U.S.
Well, I think that's a good transition point. We've got a lot of hungry and thirsty people here, so we're going to keep